guys, it's Esme here. Today I'll be sharing with you guys the portfolio that I use to apply to graduate schools in America. Last year around this time, I applied to a bunch of architecture schools in America and I managed to get into Yale, Columbia, and UC Berkeley. So today I'll be sharing with you guys the portfolio that I use for my applications with some self-reflections and tips for future students. So let's get started.
Okay, so starting from my cover page, it's quite simple. It just has two pictures of my hand holding a concept model for one of my furniture design that I didn't include in the portfolio, and then just my name and title. I left the second page blank, so the third page can be my content page. In this case, it would read on the right-hand side when viewing it as a spread. Keep in mind that the teachers would be looking at your portfolio on a big screen, so it would probably display as landscape format. And I included 6 architectural projects in my portfolio, and on my content page, I just put down their titles, basic info, and one of them is a partnered project, so I put my partner's name in bold next to it. For each of the projects, I used one page dedicated for a title page, and the page after that provides an overview of that project. In this case, it's a model photo of the finished design and a brief description. The first design is my graduation project at the University of Sydney. It's an open theater located in Sydney CBD. Basically, from left to right, the pages show my progression from site analysis to mapping and then to form developments. At school, this process took more than 10 weeks and had much more to it than what I'm showing here. But I decided to cut it down to only what I thought was necessary to showcase in this portfolio. In the following pages, I showed an exploded axon diagram, some elevations, and some of my first attempts in V-Ray rendering. I showed the renders very small because I wasn't 100% happy with how they turned out since it was my first attempt, and I didn't want people to look at them in detail, of course. I guess here you just need to be strategic, like if your drawing is super detailed, then make them visible, otherwise try not to take too much space. In the last 2 pages of my first project, I have a line drawing with some focused details and parts of the textures overlaid to give some sense of reality to this project. And then I concluded it with more model photos from different perspectives. That was project 1. It's the longest project and has 8 pages. My portfolio has 30 content pages in total. So now project 2 begins with also another simple title page. These title pages also act like a breather to give viewers the chance to take a break between projects. The second project is a design exercise I did at the summer school of GSD. This project only took around 2 weeks. Again, I started with some simple site analysis showing surrounding contents, and then did diagrams showing building types linking to form development. This is a public library design located in Boston. In the following pages, I showed section, plan, a cut perspective section showing some basic lighting conditions, and model photos showing both the interior structure and the exterior envelope of the building. My third project is a renovation design of a Victorian-style terrace house in Sydney. This is my second-year project. It's also the only partnered project in my portfolio. So before putting this project in, I did speak to my partner about it, and I attributed her name to all of the drawings that we worked on together. I think this is very important to recognize everyone's contribution to a project if it's not an individual work. I would highly recommend you to do the same. Since my bachelor's was only 3 years, I included all of my projects from second year onwards. I do realize that some students with 4 or 5 years bachelor's degree might not even consider putting their works from the first 3 years into this portfolio, but in my case, that 3 years was all I've got. Again, I showed some form development logic and a big model photo following the title page. This project is special in the sense that our imagined client, has visual impairments, and he wanted to be treated fairly through design. So my partner and I decided to design the floors slanted with different textures in each room segments, so that users can identify their location within the house by simply standing there and touching the surface, without the need of vision. The fourth project is a personal experience-inspired project and wasn't completed at school. It's a post-earthquake redesign project I did in my spare time, following my personal experience of the Sichuan earthquake in China in 2008. In this short design process, I explored some prefabricated building methods and some new technologies that could potentially prevent damage from future earthquakes. My fifth project is also very short. It's another second-year project done at the University of Sydney. It's a design of a boat-building school in Sydney, where people could gather and build connections with nature and with each other. The site is located at a historic dock, and so I designed the school on top of the old dock and kept the historical heritage visible to the public as a gallery. I actually did a picture book for this project, imagining stories that could happen in and around the building with real characters in it. But I wasn't able to include it in this portfolio, so I just took out some sketches in the storybook and model photo. Lastly, this is a quick exercise I did at the GSD summer school. It's basically an exploration of ordinary daily objects from different scales, and creating potential spaces by manipulating their forms through dynamic movements.
So yeah, that was my portfolio. If you guys have any comments or critique, you're welcome to comment down below. And I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye!